What is going on the YouTube? This is Robert, and today I am bringing you to the standard, the typical, the basic, how to buy or how to cop this Supreme box logo piece, being a crew neck this time. Now I'm wearing my Fall Winter 18 one, which I will be honest does not fit at all anymore. It really doesn't, which begs the question, do I go for a medium or do I actually go for like a small? Because I want to wear one at least, and this really doesn't fit. Like, it really doesn't. Like, it is horrendously baggy by this point in time. But regardless, let's just get into all of the methods and things that you can do or keep in mind when it does come to this week, and all of the errors that can occur, because a lot of them do. So just keep it in mind, and yeah, let's just press forward, move forward, and hope for the best for this week. Because obviously today people also should have signed up. I signed up, probably won't get a text. It's all good. So yeah, let's just get straight into this. Okay, so let's get straight into things and keep it short and sweet, basically. Well, that's at least what I try to do. So first and foremost, let's just go on to Supreme, because that's what we need to do, just so you can see that I have no details or anything set. So let's just add this True Religion piece for instance, and we can see there's nothing. So let's get into some basic things first and foremost. Let's open up this piece and just go back onto it. Firstly, one of the things that could happen is that when we go to add this piece and we click add, you could be hit with one of these things that we've had in prior seasons, where we had to either draw a circle, swipe something across, do a couple of different things. Just keep that in mind, that it might appear and it might happen, and we might freeze and be like, what do I do? If this does happen, don't panic, just get on with it, go through, try it. If it messes up a couple of times, that's fine, because so many other people are going to be attempting it. It's just one of those things. But once you've added to cart and you've gone through, you might be like, I've got no details there. Well, that's perfectly fine, because we're going to go through the things that you should do and set up before the drop. So let's get straight into it. First and foremost, Google Chrome autofill. In order to access it, you have two methods. There's a link down below and a full description in the comments section just explaining things. But if you'd like to, you can do this. You can click the three dots and do settings, and then to the top left, it will have autofill and you can go straight onto it. Another method is just to click the little profile that's here. It will do a drop down. There are three little images here that you can see, which will be for passwords, your payment methods and addresses, and you can click onto that and it will do the exact same thing, taking you to the exact same place. Once you've typed in all of your details, one thing that I will say is that you can see here under the details you'll have address, address 2 and address 3. In order to fill this out, what you want to do is hit enter and go down below. You don't want to put a comma, because it's just one of those things. So say we put London and London again, and then all we're going to do is click save. Make sure that this is swiped across at the top. It's just a useful thing to have and do, and I always just say to do it. Then we can go back to Supreme, we can click, it's done, it's added, that's it. If you need to make any changes or if something's not correct, you can clear it or you can manage and go straight back to where you were. You do have the option for a payment method to be the Google one. I haven't used it, a lot of people haven't used it. Some people do recommend it, but I'd say you've got different options. One option is obviously going to be your payment method, your card, and if you want to save yourself a couple of seconds, what you'll do is you'll have a notepad open to the side. If you're on a desktop or a Mac or something, you'll have it open to the side and you will just copy and then paste it in like that, and then you can go through and add all of your details. Plain and simple. But in order to save your details that are on the left side here, all we're going to do is tick this little box here, and then we're just going to tick this one and just click process. Now, nothing is actually going to happen because there is nothing there. It's got nothing to process. But yeah, all we will then do is just go back to the basket, go back to it, and our details are there and saved. So like I said, copying and pasting is one option. The method that I'm going to be going for personally this week is going to be PayPal. In order to save yourself some time with that as well, what you want to do about 2 minutes before the drop is just sign into your PayPal account. Plain and simple. Drag the tab to the side, move it out the way, but as long as you're signed in, it's all good. If things go wrong though, if it all of a sudden isn't processing, if this bar isn't moving, if it's not loading, what you want to do is go to an incognito tab, which would be Control-Shift-N. On MacBook, it'll be Command-Shift-N. This will open it up, and then you can go straight back to Supreme. We can go onto the jacket here that we just had open. We can add to basket, check out now, and then we will click and add the details, because they will not autofill because incognito is blank, but it does have all of the details like saved to it that are from your current profile. Then you can go about checking out this way. Now the exact same applies to iOS in the end. or just phones in general, you can go onto the browser, go onto Supreme, enter your details, click save for future orders, and then you can just click, process. You don't need to put anything here. You can just tick these 2 boxes and then process. Then what you can do is just close the tab, go back into it, and as you can see, your details should be there and saved. If they are not there and saved, you have one of 2 methods, you know. You just have to either be extremely quick, or you need to have a method like Google Chrome's autofill to be able to click to then let it fill in the details. Now, I know that in America, PayPal has not worked for people since like week 3 to like week 6, so they're going to be going with Apple Pay. So on MacBook and iOS, a lot of people are recommending to do Apple Pay because it has just been more fruitful for them in the end. It's just been better and more useful. So that is available, that is an option. To be honest, if people have said to do it, I'd probably recommend going with what the majority say. But obviously there are a lot of issues and errors that can occur. So just keep in mind that anything can go wrong, and just have a backup option. Whether that is going to have like the Supreme app, not really something that I recommend, or whether or not you're just going to open up another tab and go again. Just keep in mind that things can go wrong. One thing that can go wrong is that you're sent back to the home page. So in this case, I've got my mouse, and yeah, you're sent back to the home page. You can't click the shop tab, you know, everything's going wrong. What you want to do is on the side of your mouse, just click back, and then you can end up going back to it. If it keeps trying to redirect you, you can just keep going back and back and back and back, and just keep going between it until you actually can stay on the page or on the item or on the checkout in the end. In relation to checking out, because we do have a lot of problems and issues occur, whether or not you single cart or double cart, it's completely fine. Choose whichever you want to. Last year, a ton of people double carted, loads of people single carted, then single carted. I did 2 single carts. Even though my hoodie did get cancelled, as fun as that was, I still was able to check out 2 in the end, being a hoodie and a beanie. But yeah, just keep in mind when it does come to it that you have a couple of options to choose from to get onto the item in the first place. The first is going to be the carousel. As you can see, it will appear on one of these. You can click, add, job done. One other thing that you could do though is that if there are issues or problems getting onto the shop tab, is that you can use the middle mouse, open that up, and then you can go onto it that way. Plain and simple. The same for the beanie, which will be further down about here or so. You can do the same thing. Carousel in the past has been fruitful for people, but in other cases it has been a bit of an L. Under the Alt tab, keep in mind that it is a bit of a scroll down, as you can see, so it might not be your best friend. And yeah, the same can be applied for the new tab, where it might not be your best friend as well. You know, Crewneck will drop and you'll be like, where is it? Or the tab will just break and you'll be like, that's great as well. And yeah, so obviously keeping the sweatshirts and the new tab open at the same time will probably be your best method. And for me, I personally just control refresh them, and I'll open this as well. And that is just what I do. I go back between the 2 and I will be refreshing. Typically people say don't do it every second because it can mess things up. But I'd say every 5 or so seconds, as long as you're alternating between the 2 tabs, you do have a decent chance for something to appear or drop. One of the final things that I can just tell you is that personally, when I am on this tab and say this is the item here that I'm going for, I don't directly click on them nowadays. I haven't done it for a while. I haven't clicked straight onto it because I feel that if that tab then crashes and that's my sole tab, what am I going to do? Personally, what I do is the same as before. I just middle mouse, open, plain and simple. There it is. I then have this as a backup. Say that this works and I check out and it's all good. I can then just go back onto this tab, click the hats, and just go for a beanie this way. Overall, it's just about keeping in mind if things go wrong, what's your backup, what are you going to do? If they add a little squiggly line or a drag across or what, how are you going to adapt and react to that? And yeah. To be honest though, I'd just recommend using whatever you're most comfortable with, whether that is Apple Pay, whether that is Safari, whether that is a different browser, whether that is your phone, desktop, Google Chrome, anything, card or PayPal. Go with what you're comfortable with, go with what's been most successful for you, but always just keep in mind that a backup is useful, whether that's incognito or your phone or anything in general. But yeah, all that I can say for this week is good luck. I hope that everyone can get what they want and what they're after. And yeah, let's just hope for the best. I'm going to be doing PayPal because I've had 3D secure issues in Europe. The same as people in America have had PayPal issues, I've had 3D secure issues where it just won't process. So I'm just going with PayPal and I'm just going to hope for the best. But yeah, that is going to cover this video anyway. If it's been helpful, I hope that it has. But regardless, if you didn't want to watch this, everything is down below anyway that you can just read and just go through, and it'll probably be a bit quicker for you. But yeah, that is going to cover it from me. So I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.